have a question as well, Patty.
No, there was one statement though I was going to make about when you were talking about the good old days and everything, and how everything's kind of tightened up and gotten very, not rigid, but formal. I mean, there should be a place for that, because that's what kept it, we all waited for hours and hours and hours to excruciating readings at times. And you sat beside people who smelled so bad that your eyes would water. But there was something fantastic about that also. There really was, waiting maybe to hear one person and you go, oh, that's really good. And then there's got to be an element of that, or else it just becomes the other thing. And I don't know how to maybe,
I think there still is in certain readings around town. I just don't have the feeling of the entire poetry scene sharing the energy like they did then. I know like right now, Long Beach has a very thriving poetry scene. They've got a festival coming up. They've got 3 or 4 meetings, monthly meetings that I think are really strong. They've got like 5 different small presses just in Long Beach. So that's going on, but as far as the whole city, it seems much more scattered and settled in.
If I can add a little something to that, especially to what you said, Patty, that is also, I think, one of the poetry hosts or curators' duties as well, to develop that, to maintain that type of energy, as well as to nurture, especially the new voice, so that you have more moments of the home runs as opposed to the, little foul tips or whatever, to use baseball terminology. Because when you mentioned how interminable a poetry reading can be, it does kind of bring to mind a baseball game, where you're just kind of like sitting and watching, and then all of a sudden there's something that's just really magical or historic that comes out. And I think Next magazine is a perfect metaphor for that, because in contributing, I don't think, and Raindog had made this point before, I don't think either of us appreciated what we were contributing to until we saw this volume right here, and how much of an impact poetry had on Southern California, and how historic Next magazine was.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say that these days, I think because we have the internet now, there's a lot of energy that goes in there in terms of the community connections. For example, what's happening now? Just on Facebook alone, any one of us who has a Facebook page and has a number of friends who are poets, there's always dialogue going on there. People will post announcements of their own events. They will post links to other events. Some people post their own poems. I personally am wary about that because of the possible stealing of intellectual property, but there are people who workshop their poems on Facebook and have no problem with that. So through Facebook and also through various email groups, for example, the Cobalt has a Cobalt Poets e-group, and this week there was a very amusing incident in that group involving somebody who posted one of those, I'm stuck in Europe and I really got stolen things, and it had decided
that was Laughing Mary.
No, it was...
Or Radimir.
I think Peter Koka.
No, it was Peter Koka. But people have been responding to that by writing poems about it. And what was really funny is that somebody wrote a poem about, I went I went to Europe, I saw my mom, and somebody else critiqued the poem, and so I guess this might have happened in Next, in a former time, although it wouldn't have been spam, but you are getting a lot of that kind of energy happening, at least with people communicating via the internet and email groups and Facebook. And so a lot of the energy of people getting asked for a live event will start with the internet sorts of places on the internet you can go to, from the Poetics.net site for the calendar, to just forums where people want to talk about poetry.
What I was going to say was that when Murray and I were on our tour last October, almost a year ago, we took a trip to Colorado. I was invited to read in Colorado, and I thought, well, if I'm going to go there, I'm going to drive. So I made arrangements for us to read. We read in every conceivable venue except maybe a mortician's place. But what struck me was that here in Southern California, we just got back from reading up in Northern California, the Bay Area, and my experience has been that people seem kind of jaded about poetry. But in Colorado, in Norwood, Colorado, population 500, the town's like 5 blocks long, they were so happy to see us read. The place was packed, and they were so excited to buy books from us and everything. It was wonderful. And that's when I realized, aha, the poetry thing has spread like a shockwave across the country, and perhaps the ripple effect will come back to Southern California and we'll get revitalized again with a new wave of interest in poetry. But I think we're going to have to ebb out a little bit more before the tide comes back in. So hopefully, fingers crossed.
So yeah, and to add to that, I think that poetry is a living culture, and I think that's one of the huge attractions that poetry has, especially if you travel to different cities or different states or different countries, as Ellen has. That people are thirsty for sharing that culture, and when you go back to the poetry house, when you go back to your local home, and you share those experiences that you had when you traveled. Because, I mean, that's one of the reasons why the Karma Bums have gotten so popular, especially when you just do local readings, because they come back with these stories from these places that they've been, that they've visited. And you have that sharing of culture, that sharing of humanity. That's where the magic of poetry comes in. And insofar as posting poetry on Facebook, I'm not a huge fan of that. The reason why is because I heard some horror story, and I don't know whether it's true or not, that the pictures you post on Facebook, become the intellectual property of Facebook. And I haven't checked into that, but if you go, by extension, if you post poetry on there, the same thing can possibly happen.
Yeah, I think, well, hey, that's something that is certainly going to be a very huge court case sometime in the near future, because Facebook is going to do something with someone's intellectual property.
Exactly.
And they're going to challenge Facebook, or vice versa.
Yeah.
At the moment, it's a very gray area.
Exactly.
But I'm with you, I'm reluctant to post my intellectual property there.
And you could end up with this type of cluster where, similar to the, Samsung and Apple?
Yeah.
The copyright infringement.